I never thought I'd be one to believe in ghost stories. But that was before my friends and I decided to walk down Old Hollow Road. We'd heard the stories growing up how Eliza, this strange old woman who'd lived at the edge of town, had supposedly cursed the place before she vanished decades ago. But we were 17 and invincible, or so we thought. One Halloween night, we dared each other to find her old cottage. Just for a thrill. It was darker than we expected out there. The moon was just a sliver, barely lighting our path as we crept down the empty road. The deeper we went, the quieter everything seemed to get, like the whole world was holding its breath. I kept my flashlight trained on the ground, watching our footsteps crunch on the gravel, trying not to think about the stories. We were halfway down the road when my friend Mia suddenly froze. She'd heard something, she said, a whisper. I laughed it off at first, but then I heard it too. My name, just barely audible, carried on a faint breeze. The others heard it as well. We all fell silent, straining to listen. And there it was again, a hushed voice, almost like it was coming from the trees themselves. That's when the fog started rolling in, thick and unnatural. It crept up the road, swirling around our ankles and swallowing the beams of our flashlights. Every instinct screamed at me to turn back, but something drew us forward, deeper into that mist. Ahead, we saw the outline of a figure, a woman standing, perfectly still in the middle of the road. She was dressed in what looked like an old, tattered gown, her face hidden by a curtain of long, tangled hair. She didn't move, didn't make a sound, just stood there, as if she'd been waiting. I could barely breathe. I don't know if it was the fog, the fear, or something else, but it felt like the air was thickening around us. My heart was pounding, every nerve telling me to run, but I couldn't move. None of us could. And then, in a voice that seemed to echo from every direction, she whispered, "You shouldn't have come." At that moment, all our flashlights died at once, plunging us into total darkness. We stumbled, scrambling to turn them back on, but it was useless. I tried to grab Mia's arm, but she wasn't there anymore. I could hear her breathing just a second ago, right next to me, but now it was silent. And then I felt a cold hand on my shoulder. Subscribe for part 2.